Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So today we are going to discuss about the tender. So the purpose of the tender, you must understand why we are doing the tender. Then type of tender. What are the type of tender available and the tendering procedure and how to select the suitable type of tender, considering all the factors that you need to think before you start the works. So let's start from the first things. What is tender? Now, tender is an offer. So who's going to provide the offer? Remember in the last class we have discussed, who must give the offer? The service provider. Right. So contractor must give the offer. So there's a definition. The first definition say a tender is an offer to provide a goods and or services for a particular price. If you see, there's another definition also there. Tender means invitation to offer. Am I audible? Just confirm, everybody.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, then say audible. So some people having trouble, they can rejoin. Say audible. Not as audible, so they can understand. Okay, thank you. So if you see the tender, is the purpose of the tender to get an offer from the contractor. So all the definition you can see the common word here offer, either offer or invitation to offer. So that is a tender. Now bid and the tender, is it same wording? Is it equal? What do you think? Bid and the tender, is it both are same meaning? Yes, both are same meaning, not to confuse. Somebody asking bid bond, somebody saying tender bond. Is it same? Somebody saying bidding document, someone saying tender document. Is it same? Or someone say tender or bidder. Both are same meaning. Don't confuse. Some people think okay, both are different, but not. So why tender? To get an offer, that's sure. So why we are doing the tender? To get an offer and to give the project to the suitable contractor. So to select the suitable contractor only the purpose you are doing the tender. And if you choose the wrong contractor, it is going to be a problem. Maybe the project not going to happen in a way that both party want, and it will trigger unnecessary disputes process and so many other issues. So therefore, we have to understand how to select the suitable tenderer. So what are the factors? Let's say you are the one client and you want to give the project to the suitable contractor. What are the things you will look at the contractor or bidder? Tell me your idea. To think in your own perspective, you want to build your own house. So what you are looking from the contractor? Price, definitely good price. Experience, definitely good technical capacity. Financially good company. Previous project mean a good experience in a similar project. Yeah. Okay, then what else? So only the experience and the financial capacity is enough. There are so many other things, isn't it? Okay, so let us go one by one and understand why those are important. First, you are going to see the past experience. Why experience is important? If the existing, if the bidder doesn't have the experience, what will be the problem? Yes, he will be impacting the quality. So there will be a problem with the quality. Therefore, you can't complete the project in a way you want. Okay, and previous good relationship. Why? What is object? The previous good relationship also very important. If you know each others, then the communication and understanding are there. So therefore, you are going for. What about the financial stable and good business record? Okay, why you are worrying about the contractor financial status? Any reason? What is objective? Okay, they are objective. Let's say if the contractor doesn't have the money to buy the material or to pay the his supplier or subcontractor or in his own resources, and he cannot run this business. Not like other industry. The industry, the construction industry, is something different. Say if you are going to buy a car, you have to pay first. You are going to buy a laptop or mobile, any other groceries, right? You are paying first, then getting the item. But nothing happened like that in the construction industry. The contractor investing money first, then get paid later. So if the contractor doesn't have the adequate money, he will be in bankrupt. So in order to avoid bankruptcy, you must check the financial capacity of the bidder before you awarding the contract. And also size of the project. Now sometimes the small contractor unable to take the big project and the big contractor can't take the small project because small contractor, why he cannot take the biggest project, he don't have the capacity. That means he don't have the resources like a manpower and the plant and equipment and the experience. What about the big contractor? Can't he do the small works? What do you think? The large contractor, why don't you give the small project to them? Any issues? Yes, their overhead and profit margin will be high. So giving them the small project for them also, it is not adequate for them to manage their cost, and the client may pay higher fees to them. So therefore, not recommended. So therefore, the size of the project also matter. You have to see the capacity and the good quality of the workmanship. Yes, the quality of the workmanship could be identified on their completed project. Sometimes the good business record. The third point, we can see some contractor got a good report in the industry. So that good name or branding is very important. Therefore, from their good reputation or workmanship, the client prefer to give their project because it will be also same as previous project. So therefore, the good record of the industrial relations, not only from the client and contractor side, also every party is involved should be in a good manner. Let's say a contractor had a dispute with the previous project and they went for a litigation. Do you think the new client trying to hire them? There will be a problem. Okay, they will think twice. Other way around, the client had a big problem with the contractor and they went for a litigation. What about the other contractor trying to come and work with the client? They will be also hesitant or reluctant to work with this employer. So the good industrial relationships are very important. Likewise, we have so many things that need to be checked before you selecting the contractor. So how do you select the contractor? Through the tender evaluation. So we will discuss how to do the tender evaluation. Okay, and we will understand what are the factors. Okay, will come under the tender evaluation. Now let us understand what are the types of tendering available. So we have the open tender and we have the single stage selective tender and two stage selective tender and nomination tender and serial tender. So totally how many methods we have? Yeah, we have total five methods. Okay, the first three, the first three methods called competitive tendering. There will be competition. And the last two methods called negotiated tender. Mostly this tender come with the negotiation. And remember, we are going to discuss each and every type of tender So there's a lesson learned from the open tender trigger the single stage and the two stage and the nomination and the serial. So there's a connectivity. So you have to understand each and everything. So I'm going to discuss with you each and everything, and you have to understand what are the reason the second method introduced, and third and fourth and fifth. By understanding the each tendering methods, you might able to do the advantage and disadvantage of this each method. So are you all ready to understand the theory of this each methodology? And you are trying to tell before I disclose what are the advantage and disadvantage. Shall you do that manner? That means if you do, yes, you understood very well this theory, and that's enough for you to go for a final interview with the RICS. So let's start with the open tender. Okay, so before we start about the open tender, I am trying to explain what is a competitive and thereafter what is negotiated. So competitive tendering. All these three methodology under the competitive tendering, it is purely a competition. There's a competition between the bidders. And in general, in these three tendering methods, the employer will provide the BOQ, which is not priced, unpriced BOQ. Those unpriced BOQ will be priced by the bidder. And the tender sum is the one going to determine who is the lowest bidder. So we are going to discuss each and every method separately. So it is a simple practice. It is competition. The contractor will price the BOQ and the employer will choose who's the best price. Why this is very famous in the industry? Because of the value for money. Through this method, you can go for a very economical tendering. Okay, so let's go with the open tender. Now, one by one point, I'm going to explain you, and you are going to tell me what is the problem with this. Not only problem, benefit also there. Now, the name called open tender. What is this open tender? This is a theory. If you look at the books previously, this is a open to anyone. Open to anyone. And the latest theory says, no, it is open to any contractor. So what is the difference between the anyone and the any contractor? This anyone could be a contractor or maybe not. Right, previously. So according to this method, this theory, under this tender, do you think a person who's not a contractor also can quote a bit? He also can involve with the tendering? What do you think? Yes, tell me every one of you, either yes or no. Yes, definitely yes, because that is the methodology. So anyone welcome, either you are a contractor or not. Remember, in Sri Lanka, if you are having the government project, they will quote through the open tender only. Anyone whoever like it, you can do this contract work. So the deciding factor is the price. But tell me, what is the advantage of this point? Anyone welcome. Or what is the disadvantage of the point? You can tell advantage and disadvantage. Both are there. Every one of you. If you are welcome everyone, what is advantage and what is the disadvantage? Can get a lower price. Very good. High competition. Anyone mean it's a very good competition. So therefore, you can get the lowest price. So very big competition. So your price you will get a better price. Yes. Okay. What is any other advantage? The advantage. Anyone means the person should have a license in order to have any arbitration cases in future. No, the previous theory was anyone. The latest theory updated with any contractor. So originally the open tender for anyone. Okay, it's a theory. Even though if you are not a contractor, also you can come and quote the project. Okay, any other advantages? Okay. So anyone or any contractor can come in. The new contractor also can get the project, isn't it? Because the experience not count here. But what about the disadvantage? If you invite anyone to do the tender or to take the project, what will be the disadvantage? Tender evaluation time will be long. Very good because of the too many people come and apply for a bid. So tender evaluation definitely longer. Yes. Any other disadvantage? Technically not fit. Very good. Yes, technically maybe he is not capable to do the work because he is just anyone. Maybe a contractor or not, is inexperienced one. Maybe quality. Yeah, we are not sure about the quality of the work because that anyone may be inexperienced. Cost of tendering is more very good. Yeah, tendering you are going to go for a paper advertisement, so definitely it is very high cost, and also tender evaluation period is longer, so you have to pay consultant also more. Yes, therefore the more resources will be regard to evaluate. Yes, disadvantages impact on the quality. Okay, that's good. Any point of time he can exit. No, that is depend on the contract. Look at this. The anyone have the advantage and the disadvantage. Advantage is that anyone is a new contractor getting the opportunity and the high price. Whereas the disadvantage, tender evaluation time, tendering cost, quality, you are not sure. And in generally, in this open tender, a client inviting the bidder to give their offer or bid through the advertisement. It's a public news or public advertisement. So everybody know there's a project. So in general, the open tendering process, initially what will happen? You are going to, if you are a client, you are going to put the invitation to tender by a paper advertisement. That means there's a project. These are the project details. If anybody interested, anybody, that means contractor or not contractor, come and take this project. And so whoever interested, they will come and talk about the tender. Tell me about the project detail. Where is the location? So there will be tender clarification. Once the tender clarification done, there will be a submission, tender submission. The tender submission we can divide into two parts. One is a technical submission, another one is a commercial submission. Which submission the client will open first? Anyone know? Technical or commercial? Yes, technical submission is the one client will open. Why? Why not commercial first? The answer is simple. If the person not
If
technically
he is not
qualified,
technically fit, if he
yes,
is not technically fit, we cannot go for the commercial.
very good. If that contractor not able to do technically the work, then what is the point of checking his commercial submission? They will not even open it. So that is the reason. Then once the tender submission happen, tender evaluation will have start. During the tender evaluation, consultant will have lots of query on the contractor. Once the clarification all over, there will be a negotiation before you do the final selection. So this is a tendering process. Now you people already told about the advantage and disadvantage. Let us see one by one. Now, as we discussed, the open tender open to anyone. That means the new contractor, he is a competent contractor. He hired the very expert on team, but he doesn't have company wise, he doesn't have the experience. But individual who are in the construction company, they are having lots of experience. So that kind of contractor can give a better quality job even though they didn't do any project before. So new opportunity given for a new contractor. Otherwise, if you're asking for experience, they cannot get this project. And also, when you are going for a selection of the contractor, there's no favoritism, fully competition. So it's very good. And lots of people are coming and are, competing for this open tender. So the client will get a better price. So price competition or price advantages are there. As I told you in the first point, the a new firm can submit a tender under this open tender. Otherwise, if you're asking for experience, they can't come. So there are lots of advantage. Now, if you talk about the disadvantage, almost everything you people said. The first one, there's no guarantee. The lowest tenderer may be not a capable person to do a project, or he's not financially fit. Right? They are not financially stable. And also, that lowest tenderer may be inexperienced in preparing the tendering. He made a biggest mistakes. Tell me, who must prepare the tender document or pricing the tender? Junior level or intermediate level or very senior level? Who must do that one? It should be junior level, isn't it? Is it correct? Or intermediate level? No, definitely tendering, you can't put the basic quantity service. You must put the senior level people or experts. Otherwise, there will be a mistake. How many of you working for a consultant here? Okay. So if you do the tendering, many of you, okay, if you do tendering, sometime contractor will call and ask you, what about the other contractor price? Because they are here. Let's say the price between, let's say the project value approximately say 100 million. Okay. If the prices are different between the 5% or less, it's fine. But if the prices are differing 30 to 40%, there will be a lots of issue, right? There may be pricing error. So be careful. The anyone who come for this project may be inexperienced in preparing the tender and he made a mistake. And if the project awarded to him, what will happen? Maybe he go bankrupt during the project because he did the low price and he want to spend more money. He's not going to make the profit. Plus, he need to sell his existing property. So therefore, there is a possibility of they can uh, do a mistakes in the tender. Yes, and the cost of tendering is high. As we discussed before, you are going to go through with the public newspapers, and also this is not a cheaper. You have to pay more money for them. Also, tender evaluation period is longer. Again, you are going to pay money and the time. And since so many people are applying for this job, let's say you got only one project, 100 bidders come and apply for this project. How many people will get this project in general if it is a one project? Only one, isn't it? Then what will happen to the other 99 people who lost the bid. How they will recover those losses? They are going to recover these losses from the upcoming project. So they will keep on increasing their overhead or price margin. Now tell me that is it sustainable practice? Call lots of bidders and only selecting one person while others lose? Not good, isn't it? Because it is not a sustainable. Every loser during the bid, they also spend money to prepare the tender document. Do you think is it free of cost for them to submit the tender document? They didn't involve any cost. No, they spend money. It's not a free of cost for them. So therefore, loose bidder, they will aggregate or increase their pricing in the upcoming project. So approximately the future projects are going to be higher because of this impact. So now what is the problem? Why these all disadvantages happen? So what is the reason this problem comes? Most of the problem here. What is the root cause of this problem? Anyone can
Inexperience.
justify?
Inexperience, and they don't know. Yeah.
Yes, inexperience. So the next bidding or type of tendering, single stage selective tender. That means we are not going to invite the inexperienced people here. Only the experienced people will come because we have had a very bad experience in the open tender. There are so many inexperienced people and come and they wasted money also. So here you are going to go a little bit quality perspective. Not only the cost, you want to have a person who can do a job with the regard quality. So therefore, the process under the single stage selective tender, initially you are going to have the short list. So short list means you are going to keep the names. Now, how do you do the short list? Let's say in every country, there's a rating of the contractor. Some ratings say grade 1, 2, 3, or grade A, B, C, or some ratings say C1, C2, C3. Like that, every country they have the rating system. Do you know about that rating system? I think everybody aware about that grading of the contractor, right? Okay. So now let's say your project is a medium type of project. Oh, very vast, biggest project. So you are going to call a very big contractor. Let's say grade A or grade 1 contractor. So are you defining a kind of a list there? Grade 2 contractor cannot come to your project, isn't it? If you say only grade 1 contractor can apply, because you will ask them to submit the evidence. So are you filtering there? Are you shortlisting indirectly by telling that grading? Yes, that is one method. Okay, I'm going to tell few methods. So that is one method. If you want to note it, so that through the business registration or through the governmental organization, already the gradings are there. According to that, you are going to call the particular grade. Otherwise, you say grade 3 contractor only can apply. Don't come for or 1 and 2, only 3. Likewise, you can have the uh, list based on the authorities. There is a second methodology. They say the client have their own preferred list. They will quote a preferred list, like they have existing records of the contractor, so they have a 10 contractor list. That is one methodology. So they are short list. Another methodology, the consultant also they will have the a list. They will suggest to the employer, okay, this is my list. So there are three methodology. There are three methodology. The people or the bidders could be selected by the employer. So that short list is there. So what do you do? Let's say either way, from the authorities or from the consultant list or from the employer list, you have the short list. Those short list people, you are going to invite them for a register. You are not ask them to tender. Okay, you are going to invite them for a register. Let's say grade A contractor or grade 1 contractor. You will tell, okay, we are going to have the project soon. But if you are interested to work with us, come and register with us. So that means, let's say in the country, there's a 50 contractor in a grade 1. Do you think if you invite 50 contractor to come and register, will they come and do the register? All of them? What do you think? Maybe not. Okay, why? Maybe they don't want to work with the particular client or a particular consultant, or they have already lots of work. They don't want to work outside. So there are so many other reasons. Or they are already work ongoing. They don't want to take more projects. So there are so many reasons. So if you ask them to register, let's say out of 50, around say 20 contractor register. Let's say, okay, will do in order to register, they will come and do their and submit their pre-qualification. What does a pre-qualification mean? They will submit their company profile and also they will submit their experience. So what are the past project they have done and what are the project they are working on and what are the project they got award. Okay, so ongoing project detail they will give and also they will give you their quality assurance procedure and also they will give you the 3 to 5 years audited financial report and the key staff CVs, important staff CV, proposed staff CVs for this project. And they are going to give you their resource details. What are their labor capacity, plant and equipment capacity, like in financial capacity. And also they will say what are the subcontractors they have in-house and any other detail, whichever you're asking them through the pre-qualification, they will submit to you. So now, what you done? You had a short list and you ask them to register with you if they want to continue the project with you in the future and they submit the pre-qualification. Now, once they done the pre-qualification, what you are going to do? You are going to shortlist them because you have asked a lot of list, isn't it? So you are going to give the rating or criteria or points or weightage for each and everything. Like, okay, company profile, you are going to give 5 points. Experience, you are going to give 15 points. Like that, you are going to have the points. So if you sort them, out of 20 people submitted, right, you will have the ranking systems. So you are going to shortlist them. Now, let's say 20 people submit their pre-qualification, you shortlist them. 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise. After that, the client will send an expression of interest or request for tender or invitation to tender. What is that? They will not going to send all the 20 people because they have the rating system. So accordingly, they have ranked you. So they will be sending a limited number. What is the RICS suggested number? Anyone know? How much? How many number you have to call them? Okay, 5. What is the maximum limit? That is the minimum limit. Maximum limit 5 to 8. Yes. So RICS suggest 5 to 8. But some client will issue only for a 3 people, or some people will go a little bit 10. Depends. It's your organization decision. But RICS suggests if you call more people, the seriousness of the bid will be reduced. Said only are calling 2 people, they will compete more. If you call 3 people, there will be a competition. If you call 5 or 8 people, as long as you increase the number of bidder, the chance of winning the bid for each bidders are reduced. So therefore, they will lose the interest. So remember, you see the tender document to 5 to 8 people. Do you think all the people will submit back? No. In general, no. What they will do, okay, you send the expression of interest. Okay, I have went through your profile, pre-qualification is satisfied, and I want to continue a project with you. And you are going to issue the tender document to them. So they will do the tender clarification. Who's doing the tender clarification? Which party doing this clarification? Can you guess? Not engineer, contractor. Contractor will come and ask a lot of question on the tender document before they submit. And they will not all the people will submit the tender. Okay. So the receipt of the tender and tender evaluation will happen after submitting the tender. So what they will do, tender clarification will happen, then they will submit the tender. Only sometime some bidder will say no, we will withdraw from the tendering process due to whatever the reason. Is it good to withdraw the tender? What do you think? The client invited to do the tender. In the middle of the tender, you are saying, no, I am not continuing with this tendering. I am not interested. Is it good? The perspective of the business, not good, right? Client will not call you again. You didn't respect my invitation, so I will not talk to you again, like that. So what ultimately you can do? You don't want to take this project for whatever the reason. So what do you do? And you don't want to withdraw also tender. So what is the ultimate plan? Anyone has any idea?
I'll put maximum price.
Correct. You put the highest price. So you will
Highest
not get
price.
this.
Tender.
So that is another technique that people do. Okay, they will not reject or withdraw the tender. They will say high price. So automatically he will not select it. Anyway, now let's continue. Once the tender documents are received, tender evaluation will happen. Who's doing the tender evaluation?
Client or client representative.
Yes, engineer or client representative. Then during the tender evaluation, there will be lots of questions will be asked by the tender evaluation team. Then there will be negotiation will happen in the selection. So now tell me, this process are very rigid and there are some advantages. So what are the advantages you see in this process? Everyone can tell me compared to the open tender.
Time saving first.
Yeah,
Second,
in
we can
terms
go
of the
for the,
tendering. Yeah.
in terms of the tendering. And according to the qualification, uh, what they submitted, we can select the particular vendors and contractors.
That means the qualified bidders only you are going to choose.
Yeah,
Because
qualified.
they
Yeah,
are
that's mean, yeah.
experienced. So they are experienced and any other thing. Tender evaluation time will be less, very good. And tendering cost also less. You are not going for a public paper advertisement, right? You are just inviting them personally. Yes. Okay. Any other things? Quality, yes, quality is good. Okay, so let us see. Almost you people say all the things. So first, you are make sure that the people are coming for a tender, they are capable people, not like inexperienced, not anyone. They are purely certified people. So therefore, quality of the work is there, and the tendering cost will be less because when you go for open tender, paper advertisement and tender evaluations are very costly. Here, no, tendering cost is cheaper compared to open tender. Therefore, less people are coming. In the open tender, maybe 20, 30 people come and bid. Whereas in the single stage selective tender, maximum you are going to call 5 to 8 people. So comparatively, open tender is longer duration, whereas the single stage selective tender is lesser duration. Okay, and the client getting the somehow reasonable price, but not a lowest price, but somehow a good price compared to the negotiated tender that we are going to discuss in the upcoming slides. But compared to the open tender, do you think the price will be less? More, definitely more, because less competition and the qualified people. What is the disadvantage now? We have very big disadvantage now compared to the previous one. What is that? Price is high, yeah. That is good. The price compared to the open tender is high. Any other? Very good. Favoritism is there. Limited competition. You are not calling everyone. You are calling the people in your list. Maybe that short list what you have, or what is the consultant has. Maybe not cover all the people now in the industry. Say you created the list 10 years back. Now you don't know what is the people in the industry. You don't want to know them. You only stick with the people who you know already. So the new person never could get the opportunity. So the new contractor, if you call for a single stage selective tender, right, they never get any project under this. So those are a disadvantage. Okay. So now in the open tender and the single stage selective tender, what do you say? The price are fixed, isn't it? Mostly the price are fixed. You see the prices. Now the third one we are going to discuss two stage selective tender. Now you have to listen this tender very carefully. The information about the two stage selective tender, it is very hard to find. Okay. It is very hard to find about these tendering types. So many contradiction, confusion, so many articles doesn't guide you well. Even the RICS guidance notes, somehow they reach some level, but not clarify what exactly meant by the two-stage selective tender. So let us understand properly what is a two-stage selective tender. Okay. And listen carefully. This is very important type of tendering, and you should understand well. So compared to other tendering type, you have to focus more on this part. Okay, so first, in this tendering, if you want to go for a two-stage selective tender, there's a condition. If you talk about the open tender and the single stage selective tender, mostly the design is completed. Okay, mostly design. But if you want to go for a two-stage selective tendering, be mindful, design is not complete. If the design is not complete, one of the tendering method you can go is two-stage selective tender. Very important point. Okay, so if the design is not complete and the consultant who are with the client also cannot complete the design, still they want someone to help you, that knowledge called know-how knowledge. What is that? Know-how knowledge. Now what is the know-how knowledge? Now see, practically any construction, who's doing the work at site? Contractor or consultant? Contractor, right? So a buildable knowledge is there. So the sometime the consultant design may be not buildable, right? isn't it? Sometimes the consultant design is not buildable, right? Sometimes the iconic design. Now this land, you want to build a tower like that with the very small, tiny, teeny column. Is it possible? Like this iconic shape? No. Sometimes the design is not buildable, right? You can't go for it. Or if you want to go for, you have to have the proper structural design. Okay. Now sometimes the ground level like that. You want to build a tower. Now, what do you think the suspended slab can go for a 2-3 kilometer without any column? Can you do buildability with this? Is it feasible? Yes. This kind of problem will be there. So, do you understand what I am trying to say? Am I audible for all of you? Okay. So, some projects are not easy to design, whereas the design is not complete. So, the employer want the contractor know-how knowledge to complete the design. So can we use this type of tendering for the project where the design is already completed? No, you cannot. Be careful, okay? So many people don't understand this tendering. Now, second thing, in this tender, we have the negotiation and the competition. So first phase, there are two phases. Two stage mean two phases. First phase, there is a competition. Second phase, there's a negotiation. So let us understand what is the uh, first phase standing for. The stage one, what you are going to do, like in a selective tendering, right? You are going to select the people. So you remember there was a short list or grading system, and you ask them to register with you, and they register, and you send the EUI expression of interest. Only the selected people, interested people, come back to you. That process. Do you remember just now we discussed under the selective tendering, single stage selective tendering? The same process are there. On top of that, okay, I want to continue from there. What do you do? The people are coming for a bid, they will submit the preliminary BOQ. Why preliminary BOQ? What about the original scope of work you are going to do? Is it ready? Scope of work is ready or not? Not ready. Because why scope of work not ready? No design. Exactly. Design is not complete. Then how he can price it? Therefore, preliminary BOQ. What is a preliminary item? The enabling work like preparation of the site, accommodation, right, access road. These things are nothing to do with the design. So you can do the work. So that is priced, but they will give you the schedule of rate. So they will give you the schedule of rate. Why they are giving the schedule of rate? Because once the design is completed, they can use the schedule of rate in order to price the design. So you remember the schedule of rate, we have the standard schedule, ad hoc schedule, and the BOQ from the previous project. So mostly here, either you are going to use the standard schedule or ad hoc schedule. Okay. And overhead and profit margin. Let's say some of the item, it is not in the schedule of rate. So what do? You are going to agree with the actual cost later on with the overhead and profit margin. So you will agree overhead and profit margin for the new item that not appear in the schedule. Plus the key staffs, CVs, and the subcontractor, whoever going to work with the contractor, and in-house work, and also capacity of the plant and machinery, and particular construction program. Now remember, your design is not complete. Therefore, the program what they are giving at the time is not a final program. It's just a indicative program only. Okay. And remember the some of the point here I have mentioned. Now in-house work, plant and machinery. Okay, the sub in-house detail. These may be part of the pre-qualification process. So in that case, you don't ask them again. If you don't ask them only, you are going to ask in the stage one. Do you understand? Okay, so the contractor also will tell what are the work they will do by using their resources and what are the work they are going to go for a subcontract. So what do? You are in the stage one, comparing all these items, you are going to have the rating, or you are going to sort list. And once you sort list and you like one contract, let's say 3 contractor come and join this bid. All these 3 contractors submit all the information, you put the criteria for them, and you select the one who's scoring high. So once you select that particular bidder, he become part of the design team, and he will join with the employer design team, and he is going to complete the remaining design. So who is going to help to complete the design using the know-how knowledge? Yes, contractor. So who's responsible for this design? Tell me. Now you have to answer this carefully. Who is responsible for this design now? Contractor or employer? I want everyone to talk quickly because we need to discuss a lot of things. So if you talk quickly, then we can move up. So some of you say employer, some of you say contractor. Okay, let me tell you. Is there any PI insurance requirement here in the stage one? Is there any requirement of the PI insurance? Did you see anywhere? If the contractor is responsible for the design, the client must ask for a professional indemnity insurance. Have you seen there in the stage one? No. Is there any design team in-house, design team in the contractor needed? No, you don't ask them. So therefore, why I am telling this, not to confuse, the design is responsibility of the employer, whereas the contractor become member of design team. So who's this people working? This member of design team. So design team work under whom? This design team work under whom? Employer. So he just joining them and complete the design. On a consultancy basis using the pre-construction service agreement. So remember this word pre-construction service agreement. So what is this agreement standing for? They will not take the responsible for any design failure, but they are trying to help the employer team to finish. So they are charging it. The contractor will charge for the service. Okay. How he is charging through this for his design service through this pre-construction service agreement. Otherwise, client cannot get the service free of charge. Now, what about this BOQ and all? That is different. The ones, okay, while he is developing the design, the other side of the contractor team develop the preliminary works, site preparation, site offices, storage, access road, everything they will do. No need to wait, isn't it? Until the design complete, they can do parallelly some preliminary work. What is the benefit of doing the preliminary work while the design is going on? What is the benefit? Yeah, it is reduce the overall construction time. saving the time. Yes, that's only. Now, what will happen when the design is completed? This will go to the second stage. Now, I will go to the second stage, and I will come back to this slide. Okay. So, in the second stage, what will happen? The design is finalized. Contractor and the employer will price. The scope of work will be priced based on the schedule of freight already agreed in the stage one, and whichever the new item comes due to the design development, they will negotiate and agree. Now, let's say if they are not agree, the contractor increase the price, understanding the difficulty of the works, trying to take the upper hand. Okay, I can't do this work for the small price. Whatever the schedule of rate I quoted, no, I can't agree. I need more price. So the parties don't like each other. In order to continue the works after design completion, what will happen? Okay, let's go back. In that case, you see here the abortive work to be paid. That means if they are failed to agree the price after completion of the design, the employer will pay okay the whatever the completed item under the preliminary, and also a pre-construction service agreement for design development, plus any works they have paid or they have done during this time, all should be paid by the client. So with that, the first bidder will go out from the project, and the client can go for another bidder. Now tell me, if they are going for another bidder, now which type of tendering is suitable for them based on your knowledge? Open tender or single stage selective tender? Every one of you answer. Yeah, why not open tender? Open tender not suitable, isn't it? Why? Any reason? Yeah, since design is available, we will go for open or single stage. But why single stage is much better compared to open tender? Any reason? Saving the time. But more important answer is pre-qualified contractor. That means this is something a specialized project, right? You can't go with the inexperienced people. Therefore, you must go for a qualified bidder. So, can we get the all qualified bidder under the open tender? No way, isn't it? So, therefore, you don't go for the open tender. You will go for a single stage selective tender. So, what will happen in the second stage? There will be a negotiation and agreeing the price, and they will start the work. Okay. Now, tell me, what are the advantages under this methodology? What is the advantages? Okay, first advantage is the
Immediately
know-how,
start the
knowledge.
project without design.
Exactly, that is time saving.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a time saving. And
Okay.
another thing is the contractor getting involved with the design. That means the buildable design can be done. Okay, the buildability of the design is there. And if you see, the first phase is the very competition, second one is a negotiation. And since the contractor involving, as he said, in a project from the early, the construction time is shortened. So you can complete the project early. So early start and early completion possible. And as you all said, time is shorter because design and the construction is overlapped. So these are the benefits. Now, what we see in the disadvantages? What is the problem here?
Dispute may arise.
Yes. Yes,
As
there's
you
will be
said.
chances. Yes, there's a chances. Maybe if the contractor may go for a higher prices, then the party uh, cannot agree the price, then there will be a problem. Contractor must go out and the new contractor will come. That is not going to be a smooth process. And also, the contractor may impose his own design, own favorite design. Instead, because he's involved with the design team, they will impose them. I am the one having the know-how knowledge. Just listen me. Use this design. So that kind of attitude also there. So therefore, client need more effort. Okay, when they are going for this kind of tendering, they have to have more effort to control the design and the construction. Otherwise, previously only the consultant did the design, contractor will come and do the construction. Here, not like that. Okay, so these are the things. So these three, if you see, open also have open tender, single stage, and the two stage, all have a competition. But slightly in the two stage, okay, we had a negotiation phase because design is not complete. So the party went to the negotiation. So the negotiated tendering trigger because of that character. But not at finish. Remember this particular two stage tendering, as I told you, this is very misunderstood, or the information about the two stage tender is not available widely. Now I heard tell you some more information about the two stage tender. Now we are telling two stage tender, isn't it? We use the same wording, isn't it? Two stage tender. Okay, if you read some books, before I go to that level, when the first stage is complete, the design is agreed, they can straight away start the project using the schedule of rate and the preliminary BOQ, right? They can start the project, isn't it? There's no problem. So this is the tendering methods, not connected with the any procurement routes. We will be studying the procurement routes after the Ramadan. Okay, so that time you will understand all the tendering is connected with the procurements, but not two-stage tender, not a two-stage selective tender connected with the any procurement route. That is one important thing you have to understand. So therefore, some books you will see, even the RICS guidance notes or ISO, if you have the access to the ISO, they will say two-stage selective tendering instead of they will say two-stage procurement route. Okay, they will say two-stage procurement route. Actually, it's a tendering plus procurement. This is only one tendering methods goes beyond the tendering theory and touch the procurement also. None of the other tendering doesn't have this kind of character. You understand? So this is a tendering plus procurement. So what we are now learning under the tender, but it is part of the procurement. But if you come to the procurement lecture, I didn't mention this two-stage tender as a procurement because it is not purely tender, it is not purely procurement, it is mixed up. And many books not recognized as this a procurement, but RIC is recognized. So how you will understand further about this when we study about the procurement routes? You will see the similarity, like a design and build procurement route. You will maybe get confused between the two-stage selective tender and the design and build. Okay, so now study well about the two-stage. When we discuss about the design and build, that time I will recall what is a two-stage tender and I will further explain you. But time being, market, this is the one something special type of tendering, which is has the characteristic of the tender plus procurement. Do you understand? Okay. So just note down, okay? It is very important point. And this information, as I told you, you don't find it, very rarely you find. So some writers got confused. They also thinking it's a tender. No, it's not a purely tender. And some writers, authors writing, is a procurement, not a tender. So you can see that wording, but it's actually both. Okay, so that's what I want to say. So that clarity, as I told you, when you learn about the procurement, you can't connect this tender with any procurement. Discuss about the open tender or single stage selective tender, that could be connected with the traditional procurement route, design and build, or construction management, anyone, but not this one. This one cannot connect with any procurement route. So just be mindful. And the people going for RICS interview, be aware, there are so many people out there as MRICS, as I told you, they also don't know this information. Okay, they will mess up. You ask them which procurement route we can apply the two-stage tender, they will say some answer definitely. Okay, so that's what I told you. When I start the advanced US program, there are 130,000 people out there in the market, and you want to beat them. That means you want to be better than them, isn't it? You understand what I'm saying? So that's what our program more focused on, lots of information. Okay, now what we understood, negotiated tendering triggered now because of the second phase of the two-stage tender. Now, what is a negotiated tender? There's no competition here. I don't want to compete. I am going to call only one contractor to do a project. Is there any short list? Is there any short list here? No, there's no short list. Only one contractor you are going to call. And this calling also will happen quickly. There's no tendering process. Sometimes the contractor can involve in the project while the design is complete or it's ongoing. There's no agreement also happen properly. Contract some cannot be fixed sometime, most of the time if the design is not complete. And what about the price level? Cheap price or higher price? Competition at all, no? So how you will get the cheap price? Do you think as a client will you go for this kind of negotiated tendering? Only one person you will call and give the project? No, right? No, normally no.
Yeah, no.
But there is a situation. There's a situation. Okay, so now let us understand nomination tender or single contractor selection. There are two methodology we have: serial tender, another one we are going to discuss. First one is a nomination or single contractor. Okay, nomination tendering or single contractor selection. Single tendering. If somebody says single tendering, mean don't get confused. They are talking about the nomination tender. Single tendering. Okay, that's another word for this tender. Single tender mean only one tender or bidder coming. So the client called directly on only one contractor to hand over the project. Invitation also can happen over the phone call also. So just a mail. It can happen. So what are the circumstances you can go for this kind of thing? There are some circumstances. Let's say 4 different scenario you can go for this kind of tendering. The first, the client has a good relationship with this particular contractor. Let's say he done a good job with you. Okay, he done a good job with you, and you like him. So in that case, what do? Will you go for a different contractor? Let's say he done the house construction for you. Now you want to do another house. Will you call the different contractor or the same contractor? Same contractor, right? Because of the relationship. So that is one case. You will go for this kind of nature. The second nature is specialized project. Only that contractor is available. Okay. Let's say oil and gas project. You can't go for every contractor, right? So you have to call only the, say, let's say piling construction. You can't call everyone. So therefore, specialized project only you can go for this kind of contract, and you are going to call only the one person because you don't want to entertain. So whatever they are price, you must agree. Oh, there are some emergency situation. Now let's say the important road, highway, okay, damaged. You know the highway, right? Every country has the highway. In let's say in Qatar we have the C ring road, D ring road. In Dubai we have the Sheikh Zayed road. Likewise in Saudi there's Oman we have the road, right? Let's say one of the highways damaged. Can we go for a open tender? Okay, call the contractor, tender evaluation. Okay, tunnel. Or a single stage electric tender listing and calling them expression of interest. Again, pre-qualification. Do you have time for that one? Not really, right? Because every second you are delaying, there will be big problem in the country economy. If the transport is blocked, lots of business will be impacted. Do you understand? So that kind of situation, you can't see the money first. You have to see the job to be done. So emergency situation, you can go. There are last situation, either you like it or not, you have to go, because let's say you are going to do a project in a one location, there's no other contractor exist. Only one contractor is available. Is there any chance for you to left? Otherwise, you have to bring the another contractor from the different location. You have to pay more. Too much money you have to pay. So what do? You prefer to go with that contractor because there's no other one, no option left. Let's say you are going to a different city, okay, and you are very hungry. There's only one restaurant is there. Is there any chance for you to go for a different restaurant, either you like it or not? Do you understand? Is there any option left for you? Okay, so same way. It's a geographical location, only that particular person is available, so you have to go. Do you understand what I said in the last point? No other option for you. Okay, so these are the four scenario. You will go for a single contractor. Okay. So let us understand the nomination tendering. What is the advantage in the nomination tender? Tell me. Okay, time is shorter for the tender evaluation and tender. Okay, what are the other advantages? Trust is very good. So extremely client sure about the contractor. Yes. So tendering cost is low. You people say that one. And the award of the contract can be done within the shorter period. It doesn't take much time. So there are so many other benefits. The people are know each other. Quality is good, right? So everything is good. Now, what is the disadvantages? Tell me. Yeah, price is high. No competition at all. Therefore, the price is very high. Expensive. Yes, very good. Any other things? Yes. New contractor never get the opportunity. You will not go for another contractor in this case. But anyway, this tendering, nomination tendering is very successful if the people are know each other. Government sector also sometimes going for this type of tendering because of the emergency situation, as I told you, the highway damage. Now let me ask you in a different way. You are going to do a housing construction. You have a very good friend for you. Will you call another contractor or you will just call that friend to hand over the project? Mostly what you do, if it is really a good friend, you will do the work with your friend only, not for the other one who you don't know. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the example, repair of the highway after a major accident, the government also can go for this kind of nomination tendering. Okay. Now the last one, serial tendering. Serial. Now this serial is a very famous wording, right? How do you know the serial wording? Anyone? Drama, right? Yeah, there's a continuity. Now let's say there are scenarios. Yeah, there's a scenario. The one project keep on repetitive. Let's say the bus stand. Okay, bus stops. Bus stops are smaller, right? But do you think only one bus stop around the country? for city? Then how many? Let's say 100 in the city. Can we go 100 different contractors? Each and every. Is it worthy? No. So what do you do? Or a school project, let's say school project. Similar design you are going to do other places. Or bank, branches of the bank. So in that same category, same project, what do you do? Rather than hiring a number of contractor, you are going to have only one contractor to take over the jobs. But initially, what do you do in the serial tendering? Slightly different. You will have the list. Whereas in the nomination tender, you don't have any list. But in the serial tender, you have the list. That list, like a short list principle, you have a short list, ask for a pre-qualification, you send they submit the pre-qualification, you rank them. Okay, so when you do this task, you don't have any project. Now you got the project. So once you got the project, what do you do? Okay, you are going to give the project to the only one contractor. You will not call multi people. So the process here, you are going to ask the contractor to get registered, and you are going to shortlist them. Then you are going to give the project to the only one contractor. Let's say you have 2-3 projects. Give, okay, first project, take the first contractor. Second project, okay, take the second contractor. But you are not calling other contractor to price the different project. One project, one person, finish. You don't mix them, or you don't ask the offer from the different contractor. So serial tendering, not for a one project, it is a repetitive project. So what is the advantage you feel here? Do you all understand what is a serial tendering, what I say? In simple term, a project that have a duplicated project in a different location. So rather you go with the different contractor, you are trying to give to the one contractor. That is a short form, I can tell. So is it clear? If it is clear, tell me what are the advantages you see in here? Yes, it is a repetitive project. You are going to give a one contractor. That is a theory. So it is
Any
better
dispute
if it is
arise, we can any dispute arise, we can uh, solve that one mutually.
correct because of the relationship.
Yeah,
So
good
the
relationship.
relationship is better. Yeah. Yeah. So it is good for a repetitive work. The parties know roles and responsibilities, and they are familiar with each other. So therefore, they can.
So Manoj, can you please repeat it because I'm a little bit confused. Like different contractors, but it's only one at the same time. Yeah.
In simple term, what do you want to understand? Initially, the employer has the list, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have the list of contractor. Okay, but they will rank it like a criteria. They will give the rating and they will rank it. Now, when the employer get the project, let's say employer have the 3 project at the same time. So first project he will give to the first contractor. Do you think the first project he will ask second and third contractor to price also to compare and do the competition with them?
No.
No. So you see that pattern, okay? He will give only one contractor. That is a single contractor. Again, the serial tendering, only one contractor. Now let's say the second project he want to start also, but he will not call the first contractor because first contractor already got the project, isn't it? Let's say the similar time they have the multiple project. So he will call the second contractor and tell, okay, you take the second project. And he will not negotiate that with the first or third. And the same time he had a third project, he will give the third one. Now let's say this is one pattern, okay? If the different projects are there and the client want to start the work, they will do one contractors only without making any competition. Now let's say like a bus stops around the city. client don't want to give to the multi-contractor, he has a list, he will call only one contractor, you take all the project. Without seeing any location, you take all the project, that's all. So again, he called how many contractors? All the way he's calling only one contractor. Do you understand now?
Yeah, so it is possible, like he can pick one contractor for all the projects, right? Is it possible for
Possible.
serial tendering?
Yes, possible.
Okay.
Okay, so this is good if it is a repetitive work. Otherwise, you can't say serial tender. That is simply a nomination tender. And if you see, there's a selection criteria and the nomination criteria. So that benefits are there. So you are selecting. So you are selecting the right people only. And there's a nomination. Only that go to the only one contractor. Okay, so another advantages, yes, it is a good relationship. Parties know each other, less disputes. Tendering is only one time you have to do. Every project, do you want to do the tendering? That is saving the time and money for a tendering, right? But there is a small things you should understand. Every project, let's say you are doing a location A, one project, and the location B, similar project, but are the prices at same in both location? No, right? What do you do? Small price adjustment, you have to agree. That is common. Okay, one for one project. Second project, second contract, but same contractor, not going to be changed. Okay, what is a difference between the tendering and the procurement route? We will discuss. Now you can't get the clarity with that question. Okay,
Sir, what is the
that will be
differences between the nomination tendering and serial tendering?
in the nominate. Okay, let me answer the Ali Hassan. Then I
Okay,
come
okay,
to your
okay,
question.
okay.
Now he's asking what is the difference between the tendering process and the procurement route. Now you understand thoroughly what is a tendering process now. Then when the time comes, we start the procurement lecture. They are only at the last, even though procurement, I can't explain you. Very last slide of the procurement lecture only I can disclose what is exactly procurement. So you have to wait until that. Now, your question was, what is the difference between the nomination tender and the serial tender, right?
Mm.
In the nomination tender, there's no selection criteria. You don't have a selection list. You just call one person. But if you talk about the serial
Okay.
tender, initially you are doing the selection criteria.
That
So
is for
there's a combination
emergency.
of
This is for the continuous or repetitive work, right? That is for the emergency. This is for the repetitive work.
no, not only emergency, you know the person already, or he's the expert on that one, or
Okay.
geographically he's the only one available. Then you have to go for that tendering only. Okay. But whereas, say you have multiple bidder, then you can go for a selection criteria. Okay. So in the serial tendering,
Sir,
that is happening.
in
Yes.
this serial tendering, I don't know whether my understanding is correct or not. If a project is there, okay, if we given to one contractor, another project cannot be given to the same contractor, right?
Normally, the client won't entertain 2-3 contractor for one project. Like he won't ask the quotation. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
In other open tender or single stage selective tender, even the 2-stage tender, he will ask the price from the multiple different bidders. But in this one, he will not negotiate the prices with the two people. He will negotiate only with one person. So that is a different criteria. Do you understand?
Yeah, and one more thing you said, like all the project can be given to one contractor if the project in the same
Yes. Now,
sequence.
okay, give me a 1 second. Okay, so again, can you repeat the question?
I mean, like, and one more thing you said, like, one contractor, if the project is like all are in the same environment, can be given, all the project can be given to one contractor,
Yes.
isn't it?
Let's say Yes,
So like,
let's
is
say
there any discrepancy between those two? Like, you can do this one as well as this one. Oh, like that's what I'm getting confused.
now let's say there's a project location here. Okay, there's another project location here. Let's say it is a very far away. So you got a three people on selection. Okay, one, two, three. So you ignore the third one, give the first one to the first because it's a different location. Second one will take this one. Okay, this is one pattern. Another pattern, let's say it is small projects are in the same location. Okay, small project like in a one cluster. You just give to the one person only. You don't want to deal with the second or third. But either way, you are calling see only one person. It's not connected with the two people. Okay.
Understood, understood, sir,
Client is
understood.
yeah. Let's say now it is in the one cluster. Okay, say all of them in the one cluster. Client want to give the different people. Then he will say, okay, let's enlarge it. Okay, let's enlarge this one. So it's a one project here, one project here, one project here, small. So you will take okay. First one you take this. Second you go this one. Third you go this one like that. So he will not negotiate this one with the other one. That is a character. So only single contractor all the way. You understood?
Yes, sir. But
Okay.
multiple contractors are involved in this, right? I mean, they're not doing the job, but
The-
in the list.
In the selection is there. In the list is there. Yes. But when the
Uh
project
huh.
is gone, you are not going to do a tender evaluation and all.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yes.
got
You
it.
just give the project. Yes.
And regarding that two-stage tender, also I have a question. Can I ask now or later on?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, in my understanding on that two-stage tendering, okay, once the first stage finishes, okay, the contractor can be like get into the design stage, right? If the chosen contractor.
Yes. Yes.
So, on that stage itself, when it comes to this contract signing and the contract start date, those things I'm not aware about that, as well as if any variations or something like arises in case while once the design finishes and the construction starts. So what's the procedure on that? I mean, the variation plus the contract signing regarding the two-stage contract.
Yeah. The contract sign will happen once the design is completed. Both party will sit together and they already have the scope of work complete now. So they will price the scope of work based on the schedule of rate they agreed in the stage one. Now let's say some item not in the schedule of rate, but they already agree the overhead and the profit margin. So what is the things? Employer and the contractor will agree the actual cost of the new works introduced, and on top of that they will agree the overhead and the profit margin. By that, what they will do, they can come to a contract sum. So they will sign the agreement. Anything they don't agree or get into each other with the price negotiation, then the first contractor will go out from the project. The employer will pay for the work done up to now for the based on the preliminary BOQ and pre-contract construction service agreement, and he can go for a single stage tender to find another contractor, and they will continue. So this is about the contract agreement. Now, let's say any variation happen during the post contract. Once the contract is awarded, now that is like a variation. You have to uh, price the additional works and you have to agree the rate. If the rate is already in your existing BOQ or similar rate available in the contract, you will use them. Otherwise, again, you have already overhead and profit margin is agreed. So you will prove the actual cost. On top of that, you will agree the overhead and profit margin. So by that you must agree the variation price. Do you understand
If
now?
any, yes, sir. If any inflation or something can be occurred in the schedule of rates regarding if the project is long
There
run.
are rates different. Okay, there are two different rates available: fixed rate or some rate called just a rate. If the rate called fixed rate, that means that is not fluctuated by any uh, price fluctuation. Then the contractor must price the price fluctuation within the rate, fixed rate. Okay. If you say just a rate and price fluctuation allowed in FIDIC rate book, the FIDIC says price fluctuation is allowed. But If you say fixed rate, then that is not allowed. So based on the contract, you must agree.
Yes, sir. In this case, so the employer have to bear the cost twice. I mean, he has to pay for the contract in the design stage as well as design consultant as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, yes. Depend on the contract.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank
Okay, now let's continue. So if you see, serial tendering is good if it is a repetitive work and it has the selection and the nomination tendering benefits. But there are disadvantages. Tell me what are the disadvantages you feel under this serial tendering? Okay, it is difficult if you have the different project with the different design. It is not a similar project, then it is going to be harder for both parties to agree the prices, everything. Okay, let's say the one project is a school, another one is a hospital. Maybe the same contractor not capable to do the both, because the school project is a different experience and the hospital project is a different experience needed. So therefore, that's a problem. Sometime if the contractor getting the multiple project and he may go with the poor workmanship because of workloads. Okay, or repetitive work, he can use the same. Say he can use the same form work system or same material machinery, maybe which is depreciated its quality by the time. So that kind of problem can come. So now we understood all the 5 different types of tendering. Now how to select them? What is the best? So we will see. Now in order to select the right tendering method, you must understand what are the procurement route available. No, don't worry about right now. We will have an understanding when we discuss about the procurement route. So there are some procurement route will connect with the number of tendering methods. Okay, so you can't fix okay this tendering method for that procurement route only. Don't come to a conclusion. So there's no interconnection between the procurement route and the tendering route. That is first. Okay, and two-stage tender again. It is something you must remember. Okay, is it tender only? Sometimes the some books say two-stage procurement route. So two-stage tendering is suitable if you want quicker start at the site while the design is ongoing. Then you can go for this. Okay, and traditionally the projects what they will do, they will complete the design, then they will start the construction, because if you done the construction after completing of the design, you know what is the cost and time that needed for the project. So therefore the contractor will not be responsible for the design under the traditional procurement route, and you can go for open or single stage, even the nomination tendering. Now let us understand the comparison. Okay, so type of tender: cost, time, quality, can fix the budget, design completion needed. Now tell me, open tender, can you understand the cost of tender or price level what we are receiving is low, isn't it? Tendering time is longer. And the quality, can we expect the high quality? No, you can't expect the high quality with the open tender. But can we fix the budget? Yes, you agree in the price before signing the contract. Do you need to have the design completion? If you agree in the price, if you can fix the budget, that means you must have the design, right? If the design is not complete, can you fix the budget? What do you think? No, you can't. So everybody bear with me another 10 minutes, okay? So I need another 10 minutes to finish today lecture. Now let's go to the single stage selective tender. Cost level compared to the open tender will be little bit more. So it is moderate. Tendering time compared to the open tender is medium. Quality, it's definitely good. Can we fix the budget? Yes, if the design is complete. Right. If the design is complete, you can fix the budget. Now, if you can go for open tender and single stage selective tender without completing the design also, but you can't. In that case, you can't fix the budget. But mostly these two are going with the design completion. Two stage selective tender. What about the tender price? Why it has become high compared to the single stage or open tender? Any reason? Can you justify now? Incomplete design, they are not agreeing the price, but they are agreeing the price in the second stage, right? Is there any other competitor in the second stage? So nobody. So only one person pricing. So he can price the new works in a way he want. So that is a problem. Maybe they will end up fight. But if you see the tendering period is shorter because of the overlapping the time and the construction, the project duration also shorter. Quality is good. You can fix the budget in the second stage. But to go for a two-stage tender, do you need to have the complete design? No need. But how we can fix the budget? In the second stage, we are completing the design. That is the reason I put, okay, budget can be fixed in the second stage. Now, if we talk about the nomination tender compared to the price level of the other bidding, they're very high in the nomination tender because only one. And the tendering period is shorter, quality is good, can fix the budget or design, depend on the design. If the design is there, yes, we can fix the budget. But if the design is normally not happening during the nomination tender, mostly, okay, then yes, you can't fix the budget. But when come to the serial tender, okay, the cost level is moderate because there's a small competition happening. Tendering period is one first project, yes, it takes time, but second project, no. Quality is good because you all are qualified bidders. Can fix the budget? Yes, because remember when they are going for a initial short list, they don't have the design. But when they are calling for a 10 project takeover, that time they have the design. So that is the reason they can fix the budget. Okay. Otherwise, without design completion, nobody can fix the budget. But some procurement route can do that work. Without completion of the design, can we fix the budget? Yes. Not through the tendering, but through the procurement route we can do. So there are design and build, develop and construct procurement routes are there. They are, you don't have to have the design completion to have the budget. So now I have one question to you all. Okay. Let's say I will give the scenario. You tell me what tendering method is better. Let's say branches. Okay, branch of the franchise. Let's say they like a franchise. So many franchise are there, no? Want to do another branch in a different location. Which tendering method is suitable for you? Yeah, some people say serial. Okay, serial tender. Very good. Good case. Can't say a single stage or nomination is not suitable. But serial is also suitable, more suitable because of the repetitive works. Okay, it depends on the justification. Now let's say another scenario. Okay, another one more scenario. Or let's say it is a defense project. Defense project. Okay, defense mean you know, right? Country safe. Okay, which type of tendering you will suggest? Okay, very good answer. Confidential, right? Like for example, airport security system, right? You don't airport don't call every contractor. Be mindful. They will not call every people to do the work. They will call only the person they trust. Right? Defense project, they don't call everyone. It's not a public project. They will be very strict to maintain their confidentiality. So therefore, okay, that's. Shall we go one more questions? If you all okay. Okay. Let's say it is one of the commercial building. commercial building, the outside of the shopping mall, okay, hit by the vehicle and it damaged. You want to repair it. It's the very busiest mall. Now, which one you will go? Which tendering method? Negotiated,
Nomination.
not a tendering method. Okay. Yeah,
Nomination.
negotiated, not a tendering. Under the negotiation, we have two more. So that you have to say nomination is very good because time is important, right? Time is important. Okay, then if people got some idea, so that's great. Okay, and the next lesson, don't leave anyone. Okay, please don't leave. Next lesson, we are going to discuss about how to prepare the document, how to float, how the contractor deciding to do the tender or not, and the process behind the tendering preparation behind the contractor. They will do the subcontractor supply inquiries, and they will do the selection of the subcontractor and supplier. They will prepare the subcontract document, and they have the tender adjudication to decide the profit margin. They will do the submission. Then consultant QS do the tender evaluation and do the tender negotiation. Finally, they will prepare the contract document and award the contract. But next lesson, not in next Tuesday, we will meet after Ramzan festival. Okay. So I'm going to send you the complete notes. So study well. And during the Ramzan, utilize the time to uh, work on your study, learn well, and I will meet you after the Ramzan. So in advance, I am wishing you a happy Ramadan and enjoy the time that you are going to have it. Okay. So with that, today lecture we complete. If you anybody have any question, ask me, or we can wind up.
Advance Eid Mubarak, sir.
Eid Mubarak for all. Okay.
Sir,
So
when will be
thank you.
the workshop for contract administration?
Yeah, okay. Workshop for not for a latest people. It is for your batch. So I'm planning to do after the Ramadan only because I got a little bit hectic with the submission. I think they are going to close by 11th. So I just postponed them. So no worries. I have noted the name. Okay then. So see you all after the festival. Good night to everyone.
Good night. Thank you very much.